we're motoring along now. Number 9. Plan change exemption program. Darren, Sarah, and Mark. Okie doke, welcome back, and give us some information, please. We talked about it the other day, which was very good, and I think there's a couple of little bits you want to just tidy up on, is that right, or make it a wee bit clearer? I understand, but please do.
Thank you, Mayor Major. Kia ora, councillors. Yep, we're back here today following our workshop session yesterday about the plan change exemptions. Yeah, I'll just clear up a couple of the amendments to the recommendations. So 3A1, proposed plan change 7, managing significant indigenous vegetation. This is the notified version. We've taken out of that recommendation the potential variation to align with the MPS IB. And then at 3B 1 and 2, those have been deleted, and 3B 3 has been retained, which is a proposed combined plan change comprising the rezoning elements of PC20, the industrial plan change, and the rezoning requests that were put forward through the pre-notification engagement on that plan change, and other parts of the proposed rezoning plan change that would support economic growth in alignment with government priorities on economic growth. Just before I assume that we've taken the report as read otherwise. Yep. So just before we go on to that, I'll just take the opportunity just to remind you that the kind of key points from yesterday were aligning with the government criteria in the Act, aligning with government priorities, and the key question, what is the actual urgency to have a plan change over the next 2 years? Thank you.
Okay, so I've got Tyler first, then Pauline.
Kia ora, guys. Just wanted to ask about plan change 20, and I do understand the economic growth part of that, and making sure that it aligns with the needs and wants of government. I just wanted to know what the implications were with this recommendation. So we had the other ones yesterday that were proposed. What does this mean in layman's terms, what we're doing in regards to plan change 20?
In terms of plan change 20, that would mean that we would proceed with, I guess I wouldn't call it plan change 20 anymore. What we would proceed with would be those requests that were made during the pre-notification engagement for rezoning, and that would be around the kind of interface areas between residential and industrial mainly, and most of those requests have been for rezoning to residential.
Okay.
I might have some later, but I'll just get some more clarification.
Pauline?
You can I just see the first recommendation? So I was just wondering what happened to plan change 7. Is that in there or what? Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Yep, that's great. So that is the recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah, so that is there. Yanni has a question.
Thank you. I appreciate that we need to go to the Minister, but can we also get either noting provision or a formal resolution to contact the local members of Parliament and brief/seek their advocacy on this as well?
Can do. But correct me if I'm wrong, we just put this, we decide on whatever we decide today, it doesn't matter. You guys put it forward to the Minister and he'll go, yeah, nah. and we'll be at There's mercy.
Yeah, I attached to the report the application form, and we just have to fill that in as best we can, advocating the points, and then it will be up to the minister to decide.
Yeah, but as I understand it, I mean, we're up against a whole bunch of lobbyists, people trying to influence government. What are we doing to influence government outside of just sending letters?
We're just following the program as laid out for us. We're, in terms of officers, we're not lobbying.
Right. So at a governance level, I feel like we need to lift our game around, trying to get government to listen to us, given that they have a propensity for just ignoring us on many things. So is there a way that we can kind of think about some sort of strategy to influence the MPs, to put pressure on the ministers? Victoria Henstock raised this after the last election 3 years ago.
We'll be pleased to know that in the induction plan, that is a plan to meet with the MPs in the new council.
Go again.
When's our next meeting with local MPs?
It's not, it's in the new triennial, it's in
Right.
the plan at the moment.
But don't forget, the government, the minister came along and said, right, stop all these plan changes, because not blaming us, all over the country, he felt there was far too many. Let's see if we can change things around because of the new RM reforms. And so we're just asking if we can keep some of them going, a la the central city noise one, because it's extremely important that we get that sort of knocked on the head, and there's a hell of a lot of work being done on it to get it to this point. We're so close, so that's why we're putting things like that in.
I understand that. So I know, like, for example, Plan Change 20, the residents have contacted their local MPs repeatedly over concern about the impact of the industrial development on residential, because it's actually it's probably preventing some type of development, residential development happening, because of the adverse impacts.
But
so
that's
people
what-
have been talking to their MPs,
Yeah.
saying they want something done about it, and so that's why I think it's important to actually have some support from local members of parliament around what we're asking government to do, because it makes sense that we can continue that, given the frustration.
That's why
that
we're
people have.
asking for the exemption on 3B.
Yeah.
Dot.
So could we get, like, for example, letters of support from the local members of parliament? That would be one suggestion I would put forward.
Okay.
But, yeah.
By the minister. Just to be clarify, in central government, decisions are made by the ministers and by cabinet. They're not made the same way they're made in council,
Sure.
with all the MPs sitting around voting on things.
But we've also seen, in terms of the alcohol reforms, for example, people will be well aware of the decisions that have been made by this government around the external parties that have had huge influence on the outcome. So if we should be trying to think about ways that we can get that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
all.
we'll talk to them. No problem.
Anyway, I thank
put
staff
on-
for the report. Yeah.
Has it been moved yet?
Pauline's moved.
Pauline's moving it. Outside Tyler's got a question. Pauline's moving it, and Andre's seconding it. Go, Tyles.
Thank you so much for the policy advice. I actually wanted to ask from more of a political aspect, and it's probably for Mary, asking around Plan Change 20. We do recognise that.
John, who's more of a
I mean,
DMP.
it's more about getting the best that we can get from the government and the Crown, and ensuring that we do get it. Because if we just went in and said we want this done, and then he says no, then that's Plan Change 20 kaput.
Only until the new RM stuff comes in.
Yeah. So I'm looking for a way forward, and from what I'm seeing, that the staff recommendation that's changed sounds like it's the pertinent way forward that actually could get some outcomes. Am I correct in thinking that? Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thanks.
Okay. We've got to move in a second. We've got probably no more questions. Any debate or questions? Sorry, Andre. Yep. All right. Your debate, Andre. Yanni, your question? Okay. Let's go. Andre, then Yanni.
Thank you. I just want to thank staff for their speedy action on this. So, within literal minutes of Minister Bishop finishing the speech, our staff were already on to this process to figure out what the go with exemptions was, within literal minutes. So I appreciate that very much. They were onto it straight away. And I will just thank very much our engagement staff as well. So one of these plan changes, PC21, has been one of our most responded to ever surveys, one of our most responded to ever plan changes. The numbers that have come in are significant. We had 3,400 responses to a survey on PC21 a couple of years ago. That's one of our most responded to surveys ever. And it's probably the only survey we've ever done that was majority from younger people as well. And we've had 1,400 responses to this recent, very detailed survey on PC21, which again will be a record amount, one of the highest responses we've ever had to for something about a plan change. Plan changes aren't usually very exciting, but this one certainly has been for many, it seems. So thank you very much to both our staff putting these exemptions together and the engagement staff who have helped us get there and made a pretty strong case to the Minister. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I thank staff for the work that they've done on this too. I think it's huge frustration that a government that wants us to reduce rates and to save money is actually undoing a whole bunch of money and resources that were spent doing these plan changes. So I hope that they'll consider that when it comes to the consideration for the exemption, because it does seem inherently unfair to have made us waste a whole bunch of money on something that they've just arbitrarily decided to stop. For example, Plan Change 20 has been in the development for over 5 years, probably almost 7 years of this council being asked to do something, and got to a stage where we were ready to get stuff done, and it seems inherently unfair that it would suddenly be stopped. You know, if we want more people to live in good, nice neighbourhoods in terms of amenity, in terms of the environmental aspects, then we do need to think about what we can do to mitigate the impact of industrial activities on those residential neighbourhoods, particularly where we're seeing an increase in intensive housing or higher density housing being built. Not to have some controls over the industrial effects is just, to me, very short-sighted. So I hope the government will support the exemptions we're putting forward. I think we also, as a city, need to think about how we influence central government. Clearly, we've seen that Canterbury is missing out on its share of funding for things like NZTA funding. It's very apparent that we do not feature highly as a priority, and you know, it just seems we're constantly punished by central government in terms of not getting the resources that we require, being told that we should spend less when we've got more to do because they're asking us to. So thank you to staff for the work that they've done. I really hope we can progress Plan Change 20. It's incredibly important. It should have been done a long time ago. We're at a point where we can get action on it. It would be such a shame and be devastating to those local communities who have suffered to have it stopped right now.
Okay, Tyrone, please.
Kia ora. So I'm just going to vote against this. I really commend staff. I think staff are doing a brilliant job, our planning staff, in really, really tough circumstances, and this is another example of that. But what this sort of direction represents is just a further barrier to the redevelopment of Littleton post-earthquake. Littleton's commercial centre got absolutely devastated. Landowners are, during the earthquake, landowners are completely disincentivised to do any development there because of the miasma of like overlays and, you know, just planning blockages that prevent the commercial centre of Littleton to be redeveloped. There's a long-standing community wish to get trucks off Norwich Quay and to reactivate the bottom street of Littleton, and you know, this is really just another barrier in the way of that, so I cannot support it. Cheers.
Sorry, you can't support it? Is that what you said? Okay, that's right. I'll just have a little bit of a response to Yanni saying that we haven't got any money off the government for transport stuff. So in the last 2.5 years, we've had $270 million that we never had before. So where we see that there's no appetite from government to give us any money, we have not dipped out the way you think. So, okay, so we're going to move on seconder. Now, Sam, do you want to just explain exactly which ones we're doing if we do the staff rec?
So what's been moved and seconded are the updated staff recommendations. So for proposed Plan Change 7, we're just voting on I, which is the version as notified. And for proposed Plan Change 20 and the rezoning, we're just voting on the combined plan change now.
Yep, and all the others.
And then Plan Change 17, Plan Change 21 and Kerrs Reach.
Okay, thank you very much. That's brilliant. Okay, so I'll put that motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Thank you, that's carried, and Tyrone is no.
Correct.
Alrighty, thank you very much, everyone. We'll move on to unsolicited proposed sale of part